Jay Haynes for the Film Sensei channel. In this video we are going to create this animated hatched line logo in HitFilm Express. Before we begin, would you do me a favor and like this video? Thank you so much. So this effect can be achieved fairly simply. You can use even width lines, and you can also use graduated width lines. You can have angles to them and other interesting things. It can be done with a logo. It doesn't have to be a text. It can be any color that you want it to be. Lots of variations and choices. I'm just going to go through them. So I'm going to start by making a new composite shot. And I'm going to go ahead and add a new plane, white in color, and then I'm going to add a scanlines effect to that. Now, if you add a scanlines effect to a black plane, you won't see the scanlines, okay? Opening up the properties of the scanlines effect, you can see that you have frequency. I'm going to take that down to about 50. And the sharpness of that, if you go lower, it becomes sharper. So I'm going to go all the way down to 0. If I want this to be graduated, in other words, thinner lines on top and then progressively wider, then I can use simply a quad warp effect. And if I open up the top left, I can bring that in, say maybe to about -100. And then if I use the top right, I can put that at about 100. And you can see now they are wide on the bottom and they get narrower on the top. If I open up the transform properties, under scale, I can go ahead and break the scale link between X and Y, and then if I just increase X until it covers the entire screen, I basically have my lines in place here. How would I go about animating that? Well, the first thing I want to do is understand that in the scanlines effect, you have channel shift, and if I shift the red, you can see that it shifts down both red across the black part and blue across the white part. It's the blue across the white part that is what we're going to look for. Here's the deal, though, is that we want to be able to remove the black, the red, and the white all from that. So the way that you do that is very simple. All you need to do is drop a hue and RGB key directly underneath. And that will literally, without adjusting a single thing, that will remove all of those extra colors. And so now, under the channel shift, I can go ahead and animate that. I will go ahead and keyframe that, moving forward, and then I will up that to 1. And so now you can see that this works as a great map for my logo reveal animation. So I can go ahead and hide that for now. And I'm going to create a grade layer that will bake in everything that's happening below that. And then I will go ahead and create my logo. Then all I have to do is add a set matte effect to that text. And I'm going to source that grade layer and change the blend mode to subtract and then invert it. All right? And so there it is. Now, if I want to adjust the width of the lines that are within that, if I want to make them bigger, of course, I would go up with the plane. If I want to make them smaller, I will come down. And that's it. From here, you can start messing around with different things. For example, if I turn off the quad warp, then they're all the same width. Also, of course, if I go ahead and I change the angle of that, it will create a very interesting effect. I can change this to back to 100, and then it will just create a standard look. If I were to change the transform back and I were to add back in the quad warp, then when I go to adjust that angle, it's going to create a very sort of skewed angle line. Basically, in a nutshell, that's how this effect is created. So if you have any questions, do me a favor, leave them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching.